Welcome to Essential EGL+Batch. This video series is based upon EGL Development Tools version 0.8. This is lesson 17. So first we want to create a lesson 17 package. And we create a new package called lab.lesson17. This is part of the same EGL program project that we've been using all along. And then in the lab.lesson17 package, we want to create a new source file for a library, and the name of the library is going to be property lib. First, we have some names of Java system properties. We create the usual demo function, which calls show properties, and we'll be using the batch lib from lesson 16. Now, this is a new concept. We're going to create an array of string arrays. So keys list is an array of string arrays. So we have a string, and then an array, and then array. Notice that the square brackets are there twice. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the OS keys string array and add that to our keys list. Now the OS keys are properties that are related to the operating system. So we append an element of OS keys that takes the entire string array and makes it one element in the keys list. And we'll do the same thing for user keys. Now user keys are user-related properties in the Java system properties. And then we can iterate through the list of properties by using for each list string array from keys list. And what we want to do is be able to get a list of values based on a list of keys. So we'll create a function called getProperties. In the getProperties function, one of the key elements here is we're going to be using a built-in EGL function that's called getProperty, and it takes the name of a Java system property and returns its value. So getProperties, we pass a parameter of a string array and we return a string array. Now by convention we're going to use the word result as the name of our string array that we return. We have to iterate through the list of keys. So we'll have for each key string in keys, and the parameter really should have been called keys. I'll fix that up. So for each key, we want to get the value, and we'll use syslib.getProperties and pass the parameter of the key. Well, let me do that again. So we have a syslib library that's built into EGL. It has a bunch of functions, and one of those functions is getProperty. And when you generate from EGL to Java, you're able to get Java system properties. Once we have that value, you want to add it to the list that we return. We want to put it in the result. So now getProperties is finished. It takes a list of system properties and returns a list of their values. Now back to the show properties function. We would like to iterate through the list of keys using a for each, but since we're dealing with two different arrays, it's better to use the normal count up so that we can get list I and values I. Let's take this to the next part, which is getting a program, and then the program name is lesson 17, and the program is the typical program like we explained in lesson 16, and the essential part here is that we're going to use property lib.demo to call our new property lib. Let's take this for a test drive. I'll press on the console icon, and this shows properties out of the Java virtual machine. Now let's go back, and of course there's a lot of system properties, so we want to add some more system properties. That includes separators. There's platform specific separators. There's keys related to the Java environment, and there's also Java VM or Java virtual machine properties. So we want to add all those properties to keys list, and we'll be able to just with a list of all the properties, we'll be able to go and take it for a test drive again. That'll give us much more information out of the Java system properties. Now some of those properties that we're going to see are paths, like the Java library path. And the path has a different delimiter based upon the platform that you're running on. So we can run this on Windows, and the path separator will be a semicolon. Or you can run the same program without recompiling, and the path separator will be a colon on Linux. And the syslib.get property and using the name path.separator will give us the platform dependent path separator. By default, I'm putting in a colon, but right there, we're going to actually get it from the Java virtual machine. And what we're going to do is use that path separator as a delimiter to show the special properties or properties that have a delimiter in them. So given a key and a value, we're going to construct a message to put on the console, and the index of pattern gives us a position of a pattern in a string if it exists. If it doesn't exist, the position comes back as 0, so there's no separation that needs to be done. We'll just write the value out to the console, the name and the value out to the console. Now if there is a separator, if the separator is the very first character in the string, the position will be 1. That means that there's no value except for blank. The value is blank. Otherwise, we'll do a calculation to get the prefix, and then we'll show that prefix on the console along with a backslash to show that it's a continuation. And then we pass the suffix, after calculating that, right back to the special property function. So it's a recursive algorithm to be able to get all of the parts of a path. Now, normally what we would want to do, instinctively what we would try to do is say if list I is equal to, and then some value, or list I is equal to some other value, because these are all the special properties that require a delimiter, or list I is equal to some other value, and we keep using list I as the thing that we're comparing to. This is how you would write it out as an if statement, but we're going to show a better way to do this, a more efficient way to do this in EGL, with the case statement. So we don't need this if statement. We're going to rewrite that as a case statement. And what we do is we take the list I once and put it in the case statement as the value that we're comparing to. And then we put a comma delimited list in the when part using the when keyword. And so if list I is equal to any one of these that are in the list under when, it'll call the show special property function. Otherwise is another keyword. If it doesn't match that list, we can write the property as normal in system out. So let's take that for a test drive. This has been another lesson in Essential EGL Batch. Thanks for watching.